Howdy, howdy.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, my name is Blake. Obviously, I'm with Hidden Beats Media. I was one who did your interview last time as well. So,
Oh, great. Well, hi, Blake. It's nice to put a face to the name.
yeah, it was really fun. You gave a lot of really great, insightful answers. So, it was a really interesting interview. Yeah.
Thanks so much. I'm just one sec. I realized I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, there we're good.
I feel like I probably used that button the most this year. Yeah.
Right? I know.
So, where are you right now? Because I know you kind of bop around between like Calgary and Toronto.
Yeah, I'm in Calgary right now.
Oh, okay. How's the weather there? Because we are super, super gross and muggy.
Are you in Toronto?
No, well, I'm in Ottawa, so same
Okay.
weather, but much lower rent.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain. Today's like been the first nice day in a long time. But lots of rain lately. I personally love the rain and I love thunderstorms and stuff, so I am thriving, but I know that it's not for everybody.
No, thunderstorms are key. Like I love rain. Like I go camping a lot, so I love that
Yeah.
there's always one day just always rains. Doesn't matter how nice the weather is. So
Yeah, classic camping.
yeah, you're just like huddled underneath the tarp, just like, all right, this is our day now.
Yeah, yeah, it feels like you're not truly going camping until you have some crazy weather come your way.
Yeah, something has to go wrong. Someone's screaming at you from across the lake that you have no idea what's happening. Are they having a party? Are they getting murdered?
Yeah, I actually have a really funny camping story. Um, I know we have to start the interview, so I don't know if you want me to tell it now or tell it
Oh no,
later.
I love it. Yeah,
So, okay, this one time when I was in high school, I went camping with my friends, like a whole group of high school kids. In the middle of the night, I was sleeping on like this thin mattress. My two friends were beside me on like a thicker blow up mattress. Middle of the night, I feel something touching my back. And I was just like, I don't even care what it is. I'm out. I'm out. It's going to be enough for me. And so I got up and slept in one of the cars. And in the morning, one of the girls comes and they're like, dude, like, what's going on? I was like, there's something in the tent. And everyone's joking. They're like, oh, yeah, it's a bear. And so I go back into the tent and I lie on their thick mattress with them. And one of the girls turns to me and she goes, stop touching my foot. This isn't funny. Like, I know you think this is a joke and you're trying to make this whole thing. I'm like, I swear there's something in the tent. They're like, yeah, there's something in the tent. And so we're trying to go back to sleep for a little bit. And then my other girlfriend turns to me and she's like, no, guys, there's something in the tent for sure.
yeah.
And we lift up this blanket that was on my little mattress, and there's like a mama mouse that has just given birth to 10 baby mice. And she was like trying to dig under me to get warm. And they nested in all of my stuff. Like there was little holes in all my stuff. And they were so like freshly born that when we stood up and we were screaming, they hadn't even opened their eyes yet and couldn't stand. Like they were just lying there.
They're
And
like almost like peanut size at that point. Yeah.
yeah. And so of course, that's when the zipper jams. Um, right? And but someone came in and helped us out, opened it from the outside. But yeah, I was like, I don't know if I love the camping thing anymore.
No, I try to get out at least like a couple of times a year. We'll see what it's like this year, just because like a lot of places got booked up super early. So, but
Mhm.
like we do the whole like canoe in. We don't just do like the drive in. So like I feel like maybe that'll be better.
Nice. Yeah.
But speaking of starting off the summer season, a little birdie told me that you have a music video coming out soon, or is it
Yeah.
today?
It's today. It's today.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like trying to creep it. I didn't see it on YouTube yet. So it's like, oh, like maybe with the time zone difference, it's just not out yet. So
Yeah. So it's gonna come out right after we finish up our interview today.
oh, sick. Okay, awesome. So I'll like check it out later. So can you give us like a little bit of a sneak peek? Because is it for this city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for the city. I don't have pink hair in the video. I know, I know.
Are we rebranding? What's going on here?
No, so I'm wearing a blonde wig in the video, and if people haven't caught on yet, hopefully this video will help them to catch on that the three music videos leading up to the EP release are an intertwining story. And so when they're all put together, it's like a short film. So the blonde hair plays into this character's development, and it's really about like my story as an artist and really coming into myself as just a human in general. Because I used to be blonde, and a lot of my followers have been so amazingly following me since I was blonde, and that was before I ever put music out. And during that time, just like a lot of personal growth, based on the song. Obviously, it's a bit of a heartbreak ballad. That was really my experience. Was I went through this heartbreak, and it was so crappy. And one of my friends said, "Well, why don't you come to Nashville and stay with me for a bit?" And I went down there for 6 weeks, and it just completely like changed, I think, the trajectory of my life, because I just fell in love with Nashville. I really like started to discover myself, enough that I was like, because obviously like you're getting a lot of attention with pink hair, like people are turning heads, and you really have to be solid in yourself, to take some of the like criticism or looks or whatever people want to throw your way. And had I not gone through that experience, I don't know if I would have grown that much. And so this city for me is really representative of that, of like a heartbreak, but one that really just catapults you into a different part of your life.
Mhm. Well, because I remember you saying like, so it's awesome that that intertwine. It's kind of like the culmination, the final culmination of the story. Because I remember you saying that you had to shoot the other two videos, out of sequence.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I wonder why she shot them out of sequence. It doesn't make sense, like unless there was something else going on. So now that I know the big secret that they're all together like that, so that's really awesome. Because yeah, I was trying to figure out why you went down to Nashville when you had such a strong support system up here, and like things seem to be going like relatively well. That you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like peace out and go to Nashville for.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I went down to Nashville that first time, I met like my two best friends in the world. And so going back there all the time, it's like part of home almost, because my friends all live there for the most part. So it's, yeah, it definitely holds a different place for me than just a place to songwrite and a place that has a lot of music infrastructure. It does feel like a little bit of home away from home. And I mean, I've been traveling so much over the last few years. It's really odd to be in one spot for this long, because I haven't really had like a sense of home in a long time. And I'm starting to feel, being here for so long, like, okay, this isn't home anymore. Like I don't feel home. And so
Mhm.
that's like, I can tell it's like my call to go and find somewhere else that feels a little bit more homey.
Yeah, it's always difficult to finding home because, like, I don't know, because you're fairly younger. You're what, like 23?
24.
24, sorry, my bad. Um, because yeah, it's you spend so much time, especially like between 16 and 18, being like, home is anywhere where my parents are not. Like trying to find your new home and whatnot. Then you become an adult, then it's like, oh, now I'm a completely different person than I was 2 years ago. And especially traveling around with like doing music and whatnot, there's so many different places and different communities that can be home. That yeah, it must be really difficult to be like, okay, now this place that's like on the other side, complete other end of the country.
Yeah, it is bizarre. It's almost like you start to tie certain items or certain feelings to home, and not items being like, oh, like I need to wear like this Gucci or whatever, but like my guitar is super important to me. I'm really like, ooh, really like anal about people touching it, and just not that it's, I don't mind people playing it, but I'm just, for me, I'm like, if anything happens to that guitar, like that's part of my sense of home. So I need to make sure that guitar's safe, because then my home's safe.
Yeah. Not only that, like that's also your livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of friends who play, so I've always helped them, carrying stuff like the amps and whatnot, cables. And I'm always so nervous about carrying the guitars. And they're like, oh, it's fine, like you're fine. We're not worried about you. But I'm just like, oh God, this is it. Like uh so yeah, so it's easy, this city, and then I'm trying to remember the name of the third song that are part of the Trinity.
So Easy's not part of the Trinity. It's Hot Mess, This City, and then the third one hasn't been announced yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Easy, I I'm not putting a love song on the EP, and so I kind of wanted to put Easy Out on Valentine's Day just to be like, here's a bit of love.
I did the love check mark. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we put love somewhere.
Okay. Well, was there a reason why you didn't want to put a love song?
It just didn't feel authentic. I think putting it on there would feel very forced. And I wanted the body of work to just kind of stand on its own and feel complete. And it already did without putting a love song on. So
No, I can respect that. Yeah. I mean, growing up, it was always the same. It was like the first track of the album was like the big single. The second track was the like, oh, this was like your personal favorite, but no one else liked the track.
yeah.
And then the third was always like the ballad, love song, yada yada. So I really love that with a lot of like the more contemporary musicians and artists that you guys are really just like, no, I like this, so what's going on? I don't care. Screw the formulas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's like true authenticity, is to just create without trying to check a box.
Mhm. Well, I mean, if there's one thing we know about you, it's you're very authentic. One of my favorite parts when I was just like trying to pull up something from the interview just to make sure I got it right was just like when you were just starting off and you were just like eating beans, super broke, chilling at home. And then it's funny because when you watch your videos, you're this like larger than life, bright pink hair, and it's like this very kind of like bougie aesthetic. And then when you look at you, who you are like in reality, it's like, no, like she's like super humble. I
Thank
just it
you.
was it was just something that really struck me. I was just like, oh dang, like she knows what she's doing. Like, do
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so when like this city was really about my time in Toronto and just being very lonely and like not really knowing anybody. And that's when I was super broke, was in Toronto. So funny. Both times I visited Toronto a year before I actually moved there, and I was extremely broke then as well. And I kind of went on a whim. My friend lives in Toronto, talking about a lot of friends. Like my friends are awesome, by the way. But so my friend lives in Toronto, and he was driving from Toronto to Nashville at the end of I want to say January of like maybe 2019, and so I was like, oh, if I go to Toronto early, I can spend some time in Toronto, and then I can like hitch a ride with him down to Nashville. Um, and while I was there, I I honestly like just I shouldn't have probably gone. It was probably a little irresponsible. But I kind of like put it out there in the universe, and I was like, if I'm supposed to go to Toronto, if I'm supposed to go on this trip, make it happen. And super cheap flight deal came up, so I just booked the flight, went, stayed in an Airbnb, and it was so funny. While I was there, I just got a random message on Facebook, like to my personal Facebook, um, that I guess I had owned this Facebook handle for like a professional Facebook page, um, which I kind of don't even like never purchased or never like signed up for it thinking, cool, I'll sell this one day. But someone messaged me and said, I really want to buy this handle from you. Can I buy it from you? And I like at this point had no money to go to Nashville. So I'm like, yes, do you $50? Like what 20?
Yeah.
20. But like they came in with I think it was 2,500 US, and then I was able to like go to Nashville and do the thing, and it's just so funny just how the universe works sometimes.
I was gonna say that's literally all the planets aligning, all the
Mhm.
stars. Like that was beyond perfect timing.
Yeah.
Also, just like hitching rides with people is the most like Toronto thing ever. Every time I
Yeah.
go, I I either get there because I'm like carpooling with friends and then I take like the train back to Ottawa, or it's like reverse. Like I take like a carpool home with people because it's like, oh, you're also in Toronto. I'll give you some gas money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because yeah, because I guess to go back and forth to Calgary, that's what like a 2 3 hour flight.
Yeah, I think it's around there.
Yeah. I've only done Calgary to Toronto once, and it was after a conference. So it was like me and my
Yeah.
coworkers, we were like a little tipsy. So I was like, sure, 2-3 hours.
Yeah, let's do it.
I remember watching a movie. I remember falling asleep to a movie.
That's so funny. The first time I rode in a private plane was leaving the CCMAs because I used to be like really tied into the country world. And same thing, it's like the last night, everyone goes hard. And so this next morning, I'm like, I'm getting on a private plane. Like, Well, private planes, what they don't tell you is they're so bumpy because they're so little. And so this whole flight, it was the least glamorous thing. Like I was honestly like just like, please don't throw up. Please don't throw up. Like, because you're hungover and you're just like, ah. It was not glamorous.
Yeah, we were leaving Banff. So Banff has no airport, so you have to go to Calgary. And then we had like a, I don't know, 2 hour layover in Toronto, whatever it was. So it's like this entire time we're in the little like coach leaving Banff to go to Calgary, and we're just like, oh no, this is it. This is how it ends. And then
Yeah.
we got, yeah, it was just like me and like my two coworkers, and it was just a blast. But yeah, that's right. You used to write for a lot of the Canadian country music artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which is again such an interesting dichotomy when you look at your presence and your aura now being like, yeah, I was just a little background writing country music for folk. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it definitely doesn't really fit my visual aesthetic. Um, but I think country is like the songwriting within country is totally different from pop. And I think that that has really helped me grow as a writer because with country it's so story based and so much storytelling, but like real country, not just like radio country, and not to say it's all just sunshine and rainbows, but I love like the deep like heartbreak country that is just so good. Um, and it was definitely, I think it really helped me grow as a writer, now writing pop music for myself.
well, how did you get started in that? Because most people would get started being a performer and playing and getting into the scene that way. So how did you get in kind of behind the scenes like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I honestly like look back, I'm like, how did I? I think that I just at the time I was about 16, and it's it's a lot to be an artist. It's a lot of different things, like not just on the public side, but on the business side and on the back end side. And like mentally, it's just a different ride, you know? And at the time, I just don't think I had the self confidence um, to be an artist. I've always had the desire to be an artist, but at the time, I was like, oh, but I can't do that. And so I'll just do songwriting. Yeah, I'll just do songwriting. It'll be great. And so I'd play like the odd show, and I play gigs to make money and stuff. But they're all like cover gigs out here. Um, and so I just got in like writing with country artists. I'm trying to even remember like how that really happened in the first place. I think it was just from networking and just going to people's shows and like just shamelessly like, hey, can I write with you?
I'll
And
bring wine. Like,
yeah, like, please, I'll do all the work. Like, and just being so shameless about it. And eventually someone's going to say yes. And then once you get in with one person and you do a great job, then it's really easy because they'll even pass your name along if you do an awesome job.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you got into it through just like sheer hustle because even now, if I remember correctly, before you had a manager, you also were doing all your grant writing, your marketing, all of your business plans, like stuff like that. You were all doing that solo.
Yeah. Yeah. Until October of last year.
Oh, snap. October 2020?
Yeah.
So your whole career, you've literally just been hustling, doing everything yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly like it's been a grind, and there's times when really frustrating because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it all up. Like I don't know. I'm doing my best. Um, but also like now having a team behind me, you really get an idea of who's doing their job well or how much you should pay for something or how challenging a certain project can be because I've done it all myself. And so I know if someone's overcharging me because I can imagine what I would charge somebody to do something I've already done instead of, oh, actually, I don't know how hard that is. Sure, I'll just pay that. It really provides just so much insight. And when there are times when I need, like, I mean, not even, I've been, I've been much better with money lately. I'll give myself that. But like, I've been hired as a stylist and as like a social media person for bands and as a mentor. And so all of these different skills have also now like come over to being able to grow like my own presence within the industry on the back end as well.
Mm. No, it's really, really cool. Yeah, I think I can confidently say I think everyone got a little bit better with money in 2020.
Yeah.
I know I learned how to save a little bit more. Those morning coffees on the way to work definitely stopped real fast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's for sure. The funny thing is like I'm really good with saving money. Like I'm a very frugal person. Um but and I'm working on this, but it's like that lack mentality of like, but if I spend that, like that's truly the end of the road for me. It's like I think you're gonna be okay, buddy.
you,
Like
you can you can treat yourself to that $20 item. It's okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well that's really awesome. One of the other things I meant to ask is Boo still with you or
Yes. Do you want to see her?
a little bit? Yeah.
Okay, I'll grab her. I have my pajama pants on. Don't judge me. She's like, why have you woken me from my slumber?
Oh, yeah, I feel like everyone just got so close with everyone's pets this year. Like even my neighbors, I'm just like, if you need help walking the dogs, I am here. I work from home. Like,
Yeah, I got her partway through COVID um, last August, and she is just my absolute best buddy on the planet.
no, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm almost at the point where I think I can have a dog. I'm just like, I don't know. There's something about where I'm like, what if they get sick? What if they get hurt? Like,
No, it's like the most vulnerable a person can really be because it's like they're just so sweet and so loving. And I think it's always really challenging when a pet passes. Like my family had a dog and she passed away a few years ago. And it's, when you're like, oh, my dog died, people are like, oh, that sucks. But it's kind of like losing a sibling. Like if you grow up with them and if there's just such a big part of your life.
yeah, like, and it's not like dogs are only around for like a year, 2 years. You know them your entire life. Like,
Yeah, and it's not like a fish. Like if you're crying or you're upset, like the fish is gonna be like, "You good, bro?" Like, they're gonna be like, "Excuse me, what's going on?"
yeah. Oh no, dogs are the best. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that you got picked up for doing like freelance running people's like social media pages and whatnot. Uh, because you are so young, I kind of wanted to ask you like, what's your opinion on online shows?
Yeah, I think like I really came into the start of the pandemic like white knuckled, being like, "I will never." I am not a fan of them. Like not just on the performing side, but as a consumer as well. Like I just don't find them interesting, to be honest. And it doesn't matter who it is. Like it can be one of my favorite artists. I'm just like, I just can't get into it. And as a performer, it's like a bizarre thing because it's like you play a song and then you're just completely silently there in your room and you're like trying to read comments. Um, that being said, is kind of, I guess, like a little growth thing for social media is live streaming on TikTok can be really beneficial for growing on TikTok. So I started live streaming on there and I was like, wait, this actually isn't that bad. Like it's kind of fun in a very different way where it doesn't mentally sit in the same category as like performing. Um, but it it's cool to be on a live stream and see all these people from all different parts of the world all just hanging out and chilling, and so many of us need that social interaction right now. And one of my favorite things to do on live streams is to do like kind of a live real time mashup. And so I'll be playing whatever chords, and as people request songs, just try to mash them up and like put them all in a song together. And that's really fun. And you can really do that on a stage in a performance sense. So I think it's like, for me, the live streaming performances, they're just not they're obviously not the same as a performance, but I think they have their own place as well, if that makes sense.
No, 100% makes sense because especially with a lot of like the streaming events, like you said, your only interaction is like squinting and struggling your best to keep up with all the comments.
Yeah.
But we all know that as soon as the song's done, 15 different people are writing like "good job, girl," and you're not seeing any of those messages. It's just like a stream of "good job, good job, good job." But at least like with TikTok, at least like the few live things I've watched, like on my FYP, the comments are a little bit slower rolling, if that makes sense. So like I can actually see what other people are writing. It's not just lost. Not that I like do live streaming myself, but the ones that I watch from other folks, it's, I don't know, it's a little bit more interactive, I guess. So it's like as close as you can get to a live performance.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I'm just gonna put her down. To have this interaction with fans that you wouldn't have in a live setting. For example, like if like a hater comes in the comments and they're saying they're trying to be rude, is like most of the time people are messaging them back and kind of being like, leave, like get out of here, and coming to bat for you, which is kind of cool to see. Just because it's like, oh, like obviously that if some of those mean comments like hit and they hurt, but to see other people being like, no, we got your back, like you don't really see that at live performances as much, if ever. But it's a really just again like just a different dynamic that is coming out of doing these live shows online.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever really seen like a Heckler, a live music performance.
Yeah, like they would just get kicked out so fast.
Yeah, I was just like trying to think. I was like, even like I've been to shows where people have gotten a little too tipsy, I will politely call it that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen like a heckler or someone like talking over the show. Even they'll just leave.
Mhm. Or with like a mean sign or something, like it just doesn't happen at live performances that way.
Yeah, no, it's weirdly going to be thinking about that for the next like 2 days, just trying to figure out if I've ever heard of it, like, or seen a heckler at a live music show that isn't like a festival. So
Oh no, I can't hear you.
oh, sorry. Can you?
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
You're back. Yeah, yeah.
Check, check.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Super, super sorry about that.
Oh, don't even worry about it. It's like not a Zoom call if there's no technical difficulties.
Fair, also fair. Well, it was, okay. So the irony was I was going to ask you about when you had to drown out the haters at the Pride Parade a couple years ago. So the irony that neither of us can hear each other.
You can't hear me.
Yeah. Oh, very surreptitious. Yeah, because that was what, 2 years ago or 3?
Maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that in Calgary or Toronto?
It was in Calgary.
It was in Calgary. So yeah, so what, this people were being obnoxious and you were just like not having any of that, or?
They were fully protesting the Pride Parade. So they came with like their big signs and were chanting and just were being like aggressive and mean and kind of horrible to the people that were there to enjoy the parade. And there was actually a row of police between them and between the protesters and the actual parade goers.
Oh dang! So they were like full on like
Yeah,
organized.
they were ready. Like they did arts and crafts night the night before to make those signs.
Ugh. And you were on like one of the floats, I guess?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Was that your first time in the parade or no?
I did the parade twice. I'm pretty sure that was my second time. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've ours I can say ours are not nearly that exciting here in Ottawa. The hater groups always like march at the very, very end where it's just like everyone's just leaving anyways. And
Yeah.
it's like 6 people. And it's the same 6 people every year. And you're just kind of like, oh, see you again. There's one less this year. Like
Hi, Tom. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Okay, awesome. So I know your video is coming out soon, so I don't want to keep you like too much longer. Um, so I actually did listen to some advice that you gave me in your last interview about analog coffee.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm a giant coffee snob. It's embarrassing. My friends all make fun of me. So yeah, I ordered, I think it was like 2 or 3. I forget what it was. If it was, I forget if theirs was if you spent over a certain amount, the shipping was free. Or if you like bought 2, the shipping was free. You know how every website's
Yeah.
different. So it was really, really awesome. So I was gonna say next time you're in Vancouver, because I know you like to bop around a fair bit, there's a place called 49th Parallel, and
Okay.
they're really, really good. I would definitely suggest them. And then red wine versus white wine, because I know it's wine girl summer coming up. So
Oh, yeah. I love a red wine. I feel like I need to give white wine more of a chance, but it's just too sweet for me. I like the oh gritty, like
and,
heavy red wines.
and red wine's fun because it like sneaks up on you.
I
You
know.
have
And you're like,
you have
oh, there it is.
like you'll have like 2 glasses, you're like, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. And then you'll stand up after your third, you're like, I am not fine. This was a
Yeah.
mistake.
But you keep the polite like, I'll be right back.
And it's always like that mildly slow motion too. You're like, no
Yeah.
one can tell. It's like everyone can tell. Everyone can tell.
Everyone knows. Again, it's like the perfect kind of like you've had a bit of a rough day, having just a glass of red wine, it feels like a best friend giving you a hug. You know, like it's like they're there. It's okay. It's all right. Like
So you said that you're like not really a white wine, and is it just because like it's too sweet in hangovers?
yeah, but it's so funny because I also like coolers and stuff. So I'm like, but just not with wine. Thank you. Like for no reason.
Yeah, I've gotten really into the like was it like neutral and nude, the like zero sugar like vodka ones?
Yeah. Have you tried tempos?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll put you onto that. You gotta try tempos. It's a gin cocktail, but it like in a can. Um, the best one is the lemon mint one, well, in my opinion. So good. Even if you're not into gin, it really like they hide it so well. It just tastes like a cocktail, like a cocktail you get at a restaurant.
And it's just like in like one of the like just regular sized cans kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah. Well, I'm not the biggest gin drinker, but I like it like I like having like 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this was good. Yeah.
I'll say it again. I'm not a big gin drinker either, but they hide it so well. Like if you were given one, you would have no clue it's gin.
See, that's the good is you don't want to be like, this tastes like pine needles. Excellent.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So I just want to double check that we got everything that I wanted to get covered because I know you've got a lot of big things coming up this summer, especially with the hopefully EP coming out soon.
You know it.
Oh yeah. Do you have a date yet, or is it still kind of?
It's
Yeah.
yeah, we're hoping for July, but I feel like everyone's release schedules have been kind of pushed around with the pandemic and things a little bit. So we're just
Oh
rolling with the punches.
yeah. I know. I don't remember what yours is looking like, but for us, they keep moving when everything's going to reopen. So it was
Yeah.
supposed to be June 2nd. Now it's June 12th. And it's just like they keep moving everything 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And it's like some of us have like deadlines. Some of us want to announce stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah. yeah, we just started, well, I guess we're coming to the end of it, but a full lockdown where there was no indoor, outdoor dining. Like everything was completely shut down. So yeah, just kind of, it's really hard to do like photo shoots and things like that, and just making sure everyone's safe and healthy.
Yeah. I forget, did they cancel the Stampede this year or no?
They're actually planning on going through with it.
Okay.
We'll see. Actually, interesting thing about the music video, we actually had to push back the music video because someone on the crew got COVID and we had to make sure everyone was safe and everyone had to get tested. And we had to wait the full quarantine period.
Jeez, like the full 2 weeks kind of thing.
Yeah, so we pushed the whole shoot back.
So yeah, so at this point, the EP, it comes when it comes.
Who knows?
Yeah. Oh no, I love it. Well, it's been Terez, it's been super awesome. Hopefully everything goes well with the launch this afternoon, and I'm sure I'll talk to you again soon. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
You as well.
Okay, bye.
Bye.